Greetings team, it's time for another 5 for flooring, and this week we are going to be discussing carpet seam tape. Now we're actually going to be discussing the hot melt seam tape. There is another system called Cool Glide, and hopefully here in the near future I'll also give you a training on that. But this week we're covering the hot melt seam tape only. As many of you know, carpet comes in rolls. It's generally produced in rolls widths between 12 to 15.5 feet. And this width works perfectly for most residential applications, as this is, kind of the average room width size in the US. So most of the time they can cut the carpet to length, and from there they'll actually trim around the outside edge, and they'll be able to make one cut, kind of to cover the room. But what do you do when your room is wider than the roll? Well, you're going to have to create a seam, and you're going to have to join those seams together, and that's where carpet seam tape comes in. Now, all seam tape is really comprised of 3 main components. It'll have a paper backing that's used to kind of hold the hot melt in place while it's being moved around, and it also prevents that hot melt from sticking to the substrate when you melt it to actually join the carpet. You'll have a scrim. Kind of looks like white fabric behind the hot melt adhesive, and this is used kind of like rebar. It holds everything together, makes everything stronger. It also prevents the glue from just kind of spreading out as you heat it up and put it underneath the carpet. And then there's the hot melt itself. Now you'll notice that this hot melt is amber, and something that you all should know is that amber hot melt, there's really no difference between it and white. Dye is the only major difference, and in some parts of the US they might prefer a white seam tape, or they might prefer an amber. Almost all of the seam tape at this point used currently in residential markets is an amber color. You'll also notice that there are distinct beads that are in the tape. Some tapes are 9 beads, some tapes are 11 bead, and generally the wider the tape, the more the beads that you'll have on there. If there's more glue, it's better holding power. The other thing you'll notice is in the center of the tape, there's kind of a mark, on this tape here, these 2 black lines. And this allows the carpet installer to see these 2 black lines as they line the 2 pieces of carpet up together for the installation, make sure they've got the tape spread out evenly. Now, when it's installed, they'll use a hot melt iron. And what they'll do is they'll set that iron down directly on the seam tape underneath the carpet, so the carpet will be seamed like this. They'll set the hot melt iron on there, and when the glue is heated up, they'll actually slide the iron forward on the tape, exposing the glue that they've just melted, and they'll push those 2 pieces of carpet down together into that hot melt glue. Then they'll take a roller, which is a little device with a bunch of wheels on it, and they'll roll over that carpet. When they're done rolling, you won't be able to see the seam if they've done it correctly. It'll look like the carpet just continues. And after that, what they'll do is they'll set maybe a tray from their toolbox or something heavy and flat down on that carpet. They'll reach back up to the iron, they'll slide the iron forward, and they'll do that all the way down the room. Now the products that we sell as Merit Pro, there's really 4 flavors, and the things that you need to keep in mind about all of them is that they are made in the USA. All of them are the industry standard 66 linear foot roll. They're all low smoke and low odor. This product is made for us by Halex. It's actually sold under the Halex name. It's also sold under a lot of other names as a private label product. So this is a product that's very common in the market. And from the research we've done, our pricing seems to be pretty favorable. Now we have the MP10A. The MP10A is a contractor grade seam tape. This is kind of a narrower width adhesive, and this works really well for your budget-minded installers or condos, multifamily, apartment buildings, or anybody that's doing builder business. This is a great product to go out with. We have the MP40A. Now this is a 3-inch seam tape, and that 3-inch refers to the width of the adhesive here. This is very, very similar in performance to the Orcon K40 that's so popular out there right now. This is kind of the go-to, the Ford F-150, if you will, for most of the installers that are out there. We also have the MP50A. Now the MP50A is a wider 4-inch adhesive, and this is really suitable for the newer urethane-backed carpets, and it helps to prevent peaking. When you join the 2 carpets together, they always kind of want to roll themselves back up to how they were stored when they were being shipped. So on these heavier urethane backings, they'll use a wider adhesive with a little bit wider scrim, and that helps to hold those carpets flat down on the surface and prevent peaking or prevent the exposure of that seam. And the last flavor we have is the MP60A. Now the MP60A is a premium 6-inch adhesive tape, and this is really only going to be used for really heavy commercial applications, heavy Berber applications. This isn't something you lead with, but it's a product that we have available, and most often you'll sell it when it's requested. So hopefully you understand how seam tape is made. You understand where our seam tape fits into the market as a kind of a value statement. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I look forward to talking to you again next week. Thank you.